So here's the question. I have a class of 18 students. And I am going to give away 3 prizes. All right? 18 kids, 3 of you are going to get prizes. Today, my prizes are a calculator, a book, and a pencil. Tomorrow, my prizes are going to be 3 markers. I'm going to give 3 people a marker. Everybody's going to get a marker. Now, one of these problems is 18P3, and one of these problems is 18C3. Does anybody have an idea about which is which?
18P3 is A, and 18C3 is B.
Exactly. Kids, if I'm giving you a prize on this day, on the first day, don't you want to be picked first? Because if you're picked first, you're going to get a calculator. Now on day 2, if everybody's going to get the same prize, if everybody's going to get a marker, do you really care if you're picked first, second, or third? Does it matter? No. If you are getting picked for a specific job, a specific present, a specific something or other, then the order matters. But if you're getting picked for the same thing as everybody else, you're going to be on the leadership council. You're going to get a marker. You're whatever. All going to do the same job. If everybody's getting the same thing, then the order you're picked doesn't matter. So she's exactly right. This problem would be 18P3, and this problem would be 18C3. Does anyone have a question about my logic or about Annie's logic in that situation? We're good on that? All right, well, we just finished 9-1, so that homework will be due Wednesday. I think it's pretty easy, but remember we do have office hours on Wednesday morning, so if you can't get it done, you have some questions about it, let's come to office hours and get that worked out. Now we're going to move on to 9.2, which looks totally different than 9.1. And I agree, it does look totally different, but the pieces are all going to come together eventually. Right now, it just looks different. So what we're going to look at is a little bit of binomial expansion, and then eventually we're going to move into some binomial probability, okay? And it'll all tie together, you'll get it figured out. But binomial expansion, here we go. Your job is going to be to figure out what x plus y to the 4th is. First of all, it is not x to the 4th plus y to the 4th. Everybody, by this stage of the game, needs to recognize you don't distribute an exponent. That's not what you do. What do we do? How would I calculate x plus y to the 4th?
X plus y plus x plus y plus x plus y plus x plus y.
Now, am I adding those? Is it x plus y plus x?
Multiplication.
Yeah, so it's x plus y times x plus y times x plus y times x plus y, which would be a very large foiling problem that can take a very long time. So I'm going to show you a shortcut. And it's a very easy shortcut. And it was the shortcut that was actually discovered doing coin tosses years and years and years ago by a guy named Pascal. Very smart guy. All right, so here's what I want you to notice. Don't write this down, just look at this for a second, and then we're going to apply it to over here. So just listen and watch. X plus y to the first would just be x plus y. But if I square that, you know, because you FOILed that out, it's x squared plus 2xy plus y cubed, or y squared. If I cubed it, now this is where things start getting a little hairy, but I know because I've done it a million times and I know the shortcut, that would be x cubed plus 3x squared y plus 3xy squared plus y to the third. Now, again, I don't expect you to memorize that. I don't even want you to write it down. I want you to look at it. Would you agree that x plus y to the fourth, would you agree that it's probably going to start with an x to the fourth and it's probably going to end with a y to the fourth? Does that make sense to you? And in the middle, there will be some terms like x cubed y and x squared y squared and xy cubed. Now, before you start freaking out or getting confused, I want you to look at the ones that we know for a fact. I'm telling you this is fact right here. What is happening to the x exponents? We know it's going to start with x cubed. What's happening to the x exponents? They decrease. So if we started with a fourth, doesn't it make sense that we have a third and then a squared and then an x to the first and then a term with no x at all? And then what's happening to the y's?
The y's increase.
Exactly. Or decrease from the other end. However you want to think about it, the y's are going the other way. So it makes sense that if I'm going to end with a y to the fourth, that this would be a y to the third, a y squared, a plain y, and no y at all. Do the letters make sense to you? Here, does this make sense to you? Now, for the coefficients, these numbers out in front, in my first one, it's 1 and 1. In the next one, it was 1, 2, and 1. In the next one, it was 1, 3, 3, and 1. Now I'm going to write down those numbers, just the numbers. And then I'm going to show you how to find what you need. There are the first two, there are the second two, and then here, or the second line, and here's the third line. Now, I am looking for the next line of numbers because I am doing x plus y to the fourth. This is x plus y to the first, second, third. Now I'm going to come up with the fourth. It looks...
4, 4, 4.
Okay, good guess. It's certainly going to be a 1 on each end. So this is going to be a 1 and this is going to be a 1. I believe this is also going to be a 4. Because in my, well, let's look at the second one. In the second row, it went 1, 2. In the third row, it went 1, 3. So I'm guessing in the fourth row, it's going to go 1, 4. And it does the same thing on the other end. So I think that's a 4 too. So I think I have a 4 in front of this term and in front of this term. Now, the only one that's a little tricky is this one in the middle. It is not a 4. I understand why you're guessing that, but it is not a 4. Here is how you develop these numbers. Every row starts with a 1, ends with a 1. All right, every single one. To find the other numbers, you add the 2 above it. So 1 and 3 make 4. 3 and 3 make 6. 3 and 1 make 4. So this number is actually a 6. And the answer to the problem is x to the 4th plus 4x cubed y plus 6x squared y squared plus 4xy cubed plus y to the 4th. This is called Pascal's triangle. And you probably should have it written down in the margin or something somewhere, because we're going to use it. So x plus y to the 4th is this right here, and I did the problem totally without doing any multiplication. I didn't have to FOIL. All right. We're going to do one more and then we'll be done for the day. I know this is a little bit freaky because you've probably never done it before, but hang on, you're going to find it very easy. It's everybody likes this part. All right, so here we go. Next problem is x plus 2y to the 3rd. Now I'm going to give myself plenty of room. The first thing I want you to do, because it's to the 3rd, I want you to go to the 3rd row of your triangle. Now a minute ago, I used this row, but that's because the problem was to the 4th. I am going to the 3rd. So I'm using this row of my triangle. So I'm going to write down those numbers. I'm going to go ahead and erase this so I have room. So I'm going to write down the 1, 3, 3, and 1. Giving myself plenty of room. Next to each of those numbers, I want you to put an X and a 2y. Because this problem doesn't have a plain y, it has a 2y. So if you're keeping track of the steps, step 1, go to whichever row of the triangle that your power is. So if your power is to the 3rd, I picked the numbers out of the 3rd row of the triangle, 1, 3, 3, 1. Then next to each of those numbers, write down the 2 pieces of your problem. So I wrote an X and I wrote a 2y. An X and a 2y, an X and a 2y, next to each of my numbers. Now put your powers on. Now you observed that what did the X's do? Well, how did the X powers, what did they do? They started with the biggest and then they went down, they decreased. And what did the Y's do? The same thing from the other end. So they started with the biggest and decreased. Put a plus sign between each term to kind of separate them. And then simplify each one. So look at your first term. What is anything to the 0 power? What happens when I raise something to the 0?
Isn't it 0?
It's 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Try to remember that. So this whole thing is just x cubed. Because it's a 1 and a 1 and an x cubed. So that's just x cubed. Now this one is 3x squared times 2y. So that's going to equal 6x squared y. Be careful on this one. I have 3x times 4y squared. This is being squared. So it's a 4y squared. So that one is 12xy squared. That's to the 0 power, so that's just 1 again. And this is 8y cubed. The whole thing gets cubed just like the whole thing got squared over here. So that's plus 8y cubed. Well, we'll do some more. I think we'll do some more. So don't panic if you're not grasping that right now. It really is easy. It's just a lot to absorb all at once. So we'll practice some more. Okay? All right, well, you guys did a great job today. I will see you tomorrow maybe or the next day sometime. Bye-bye. See ya.
Thank you, Ms. Ford.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Miss Ford,
Yes?
okay, so is there office hours tomorrow? Because I've been on retreat and I just don't know.
Okay, well, first of all, you only missed a tiny bit because we took the test and did all that. And it's all videoed, so you can watch the video and take the notes, okay? We did a few problems the other day. The rest of it we just did today. This is really, we just started barely the other day. And that's all videoed, so watch it. And no, we have a faculty mass in the morning, but office hours are on Wednesday and Friday.
Okay, because I don't even have the notes, like the worksheet.
Well, you can print them from Schoology or you can pick them up from me tomorrow.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that is